Well, hello there, and welcome back to Tasting Grace. Jan and I are, again, just super excited that you're joining us for this Bible study and hope that it is blessing your socks off. You need, as we have told you in the past, a Tasting Grace book in order to do this Bible study. And if you still have not gotten one, feel free to just go ahead and order one and jump into the study at any point, because this is a work at your own pace study. And we are thrilled to have anyone and everyone join us. This past week in your homework, you studied about invitations in Scripture, and we talked about in our discussion time a few of the invitations that you have either issued or had issued to you over the years, and that was a sweet time of fellowship, I thought. So continue to interact here on the Facebook page. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how this study is impacting you. We want to hear when you try the recipes. We want to hear how those go. So we just want to be like your best girlfriend or your best Sunday school teacher, and just let's interact and develop relationships right here. Now, this coming week of Bible study is going to be all about preparation. And I'm here in my kitchen where I do all of the preparation for the meals that I cook and serve. And all of this thought about and study of preparation led me to one little verse in Scripture, and I want to take you there because I feel certain that someone needs to hear this. And this is a verse that everyone is familiar with. I'm going to almost guarantee you. It's from Psalm 23, and we're all familiar with that psalm. It's David's psalm that starts out, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And the whole psalm is all about God being our shepherd and leading us through this life. But I want us to focus in on verse 5. And in that verse, David says that God prepares a table before him in the presence of his enemies. The verse actually reads in the NIV, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." Oh my word, y'all. Have you ever really thought about what that verse says? When it says that God prepares a table before us, before me, before you, in the presence of our enemies, it speaks of God's love for us, his abundant, overflowing love for us, to prepare a table for us to sit down and enjoy while our enemy is sitting in the corner watching. That is a holy punch to Satan every time God does this. This verse also speaks of God's power over the enemy. He has put Satan in time out, and he is feeding, he is nurturing, he is shepherding his child. Finally, it speaks of God's abundance. God is able to do this in the presence of our enemy. He is able to set the most lavish table that you can imagine in the presence of our enemy. And you know what, friend? When he does that and we sit down to fellowship with him and to feast on the abundance that he provides, that tells Satan that he has lost that particular war. It's like a holy punch in the face to Satan when we are able to trust God enough to sit down at that table that he has prepared in peace and enjoy what he has given us. So this week, as you study about preparation in your Scripture time, we want to hear from you. We want to hear stories of how God has prepared a table before you in circumstances in life. This is a time for testimony. It's a time for you to brag on God for what he has done in your life, as he has prepared a table for you to feast on in the presence of difficulty and trial, in the presence of your enemy. So we are eager to hear your stories, your testimonies, friends. We hope you have a marvelous week in the Scriptures. Tell us about how it's impacting you. Tell us about the recipes you're trying. And you're far enough into this now that if you're taking up level 3 of the challenge, you may have already begun planning your own Tasting Grace event. So we want to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.